Alright, in this lesson we're going to use a great song by Derek Trucks to work on our major pentatonic skills. The song's called Gonna Move and it is in A major. It's a 1 chord to a 2 chord to a 4 chord back to 1 chord, just over and over with a really nice shuffle groove. That's A major, B minor, D major, back to A. Let's go ahead and jump into the lesson. Now, it's important to realize, of course, we could use our classic pentatonic box. Now, in the key of A major, that ends up putting us down here in kind of a lower position. Now, there's not necessarily anything wrong with that, but if you get stuck down there and you don't know your other boxes that well, you might end up sounding a little stale. So my recommendation would be to not play too long on the fat strings. And instead, start to try and build up a little bit right away and move into those higher boxes. Now let me share something with you. One of the things that a lot of intermediate guitar players do is they just take the scale and they kind of play it up and down like this. And to be honest, that is incredibly boring. So right away when you're going to solo, go ahead and try and add a little bit of mojo right away. One great way to do that is with slides. So you can go ahead and you can slide between the notes of the scale. That sounds great. But the neat thing is that you can slide from 1/2 step below any of those notes to give you just a bunch of flavor. Now, if you do anything too much, it's gonna get kind of goofy sounding. But if you add that as just one of the flavors you use, it really will help make, the scale sound a little bit more fresh. Now, as I recommended before, I highly recommend you try and get out of that lower shape. Get up into that second shape of the box, and then try some hammer-ons. That could be something that you could practice just for a few minutes, like 1 to 2 minutes. Say your hammer-ons are weak. You can start to really turn that scale into more musical rather than just doodling around in the scale, which is what a lot of people do. They just go. Now, even when you play with good sense of rhythm, that is really boring. All right, so far we have some slides that you could add, and we have some hammer-ons that we could add. What about some pull-offs? Pull-offs are typically a little bit more challenging than the hammer-ons, but they sound so great. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that playing in the boxes like this, it's great. You can really get some nice pull-offs. Some nice hammer-ons and slides, especially if you slide from 1 fret below any of the notes in the scale. But I can tell you, I really didn't learn how to play, pentatonic that well until I discovered the diagonal. So for example, if I want to play really nicely in the major pentatonic scale, what I can do is I can use a 3/2 pattern laid out as a diagonal. And I could literally kind of start that from anywhere on the guitar neck. So 3/2 pattern starting on A, let's even use the open A right here. So I've got 3, 2, 3. Watch out for the B string, you gotta shift up a fret 2, and then 3. Now, a lot of people call this the extended pentatonic, but the neat thing is this 3/2 pattern will literally work anywhere on the guitar neck. And if you've ever struggled with the boxes, this is a great substitution. I mean, it just works amazingly well. Say I wanted to start from the A at the 5th fret of the low E string. I can do a 3-2 from there for major pentatonic. 3, 2, 3, 2. Watch out for the B string. 3 and 2. I love this system, and this way of playing changed the way that I play guitar so much that I ended up creating a full course. It's my flagship course called the Diagonal Pentatonic Method, and it is the sponsor of the video today. If you want to get away from being stuck in the boxes and play all over the neck flawlessly, go ahead and click that link below that's down in the description and grab a copy of the Diagonal Pentatonic Method. All right, back into playing. So let's say I wanted to kind of get up the neck a little bit. What if I use the 3-2 pattern from the A on the D string? Now I can use 3, then 2 on the next string. Watch out for the B, 3, and then 2. Now notice one thing that I'm doing. Whenever I kind of stop on a note, I try to add in a little bit of vibrato. It makes the notes sing so much more. And finally, we could really throw in some nice bends. And those are gonna really flavor things up. Now in this key, B is the 2. And that's gonna be the easiest and most forgiving bend. So I've got one here. It's always, in the Diagonal Pentatonic Method, it's always the middle note of the 3-note set. And it's incredibly forgiving, right? You don't want to just bend any random notes. You want to bend the notes that sound good. B is a great one. So now if I start to combine all those things, a little bit of slides, a little vibrato when I land, bends, little hammer, pull off, I'm still just playing the scale, but what I'm doing with the scale is connecting to the rhythm, trying to make sure I'm dialed into that groove, and then decorating the scale with these 5 really important things: slides, hammer-ons, pull-offs, bends, and vibrato. Those are the things that are going to turn your scales into music. Now that you've learned how to make your major pentatonic more musical and play all over the guitar neck with the Diagonal Pentatonic, make sure to watch this video next.